Hey guys, it's Kay. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. My name is Kay. I'm a professional home organizer and soprano here in the Boston area, and I am here to inspire you to live a more organized life. So before I was a professional organizer and before I was even on YouTube, I was a viewer of YouTube, and I still am a viewer, and I was originally a very intense viewer of beauty gurus and of beauty YouTube. I was watching all the makeup tutorials. I was loving it. I was like taking it all in, and that's how my makeup collection got to be super enormously huge. I don't watch as much beauty content as I did in the past, but I'm still subscribed to a bunch of beauty channels, and this popped up in my subscription feed, and I thought, what fun it would be to react to it and to give you my thoughts about this beautiful pantry that I'm seeing in the thumbnail. I'm going to flash the thumbnail on the screen right now. So I'm going to tell you right now that it looks like something that was designed by the Home Edit or something like that. And it looks really beautiful. I'm very impressed. But when you watch this, I just want to make sure that you have a reality check within yourself. Jacyln Hill is a very wealthy YouTuber and lives in a beautiful home with no children. And she is able to probably keep this up, although I'm not really sure if maybe it looks like this in everyday life. Maybe it was just staged for the video, but I would love to take a look and see what's inside her pantry. So let's see what Jacyln Hill has to say about her organized pantry. I'm very excited.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know today's video is completely different and so random. I'm actually recording this on my phone right now before I go downstairs, but I wanted to jump on camera really quick. Number one, because the lighting in my bedroom is just like the absolute best this time of day, so I thought, why not take full advantage and just go ahead and get that popping real quick. Also, I'm gonna go downstairs and pass the camera off to somebody else and have them record me, because I don't want to be like the whole time like shaking you around and trying to show you things.
Off topic, I do think she looks really cute as a blonde.
Long story short, the reason I'm doing today's video is because stay home movement is in full effect. I know that I have been at my house, I think I've left my house 2 or 3 times to like run out and do like an essential errand in the past like 6 weeks minimum. So everybody is forced to be homebodies, and I'm a natural born homebody because I'm a Cancer. So because of that, the past several weeks I've been on Instagram stories a lot, just showing like random tips around the house, home decor, things that I love, food, body products, anything that has to do with being home, I love.
Jacyln Hill talks in her intro almost as much as I do.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pass the camera off now and show you into my pantry. Come on, George. Let's show what we got. Here's my pantry. We can't close the door right now because we have lighting set up. We're keeping this super casual vlog, super casual, by suspending lights from the ceiling for you guys. Okay, so let's just go ahead.
Okay, first impressions, I want to say, from the outside, it looks really gorgeous. There's a really beautiful glass door on the outside. It looks like, so I was a Container Store employee for about 7 years. And then I was a consultant for a Container Store for a couple of years after that. So I know the products very well, and I can tell there have been many trips to the Container Store for this particular space.
Into the unknown!
I'm living for this slow-mo B-roll right now.
Alright, so now we are in my pantry, and I'll be honest, I don't even know where to start. I love my pantry so much, and if I'm being totally upfront and honest and transparent with you guys, it does not always look this perfect and this organized and this clean. It does always look like a version of this, but because I have been stuck at home for quite some time, I've been organized, obsessed with everything in my entire house. So this definitely is pristine right now. It definitely gets overflowed and all that jazz, but right now we're in a good place.
I just wanted to stop and say that I'm actually very pleased that she did do a disclaimer that says that, you know, her pantry doesn't look like that all the time, because realistically, when I go into people's houses and fix up their spaces and help them solve problems, the end result usually doesn't look like that. It usually looks neater than when I came there, and it might be a little bit more cluttered than what looks great in a photograph, but I'm there to solve a problem. And when you go and organize your pantry in your own homes, please do not expect to get to this level of very Pinteresty looking organizing. It looks beautiful, and if you can get there, I think that's really great. But you mainly are organizing to solve problems. Like, you can get to all of your dry goods, you can see the cans and see what's in them. You can, find bins for things that don't stack well. You want to solve problems. You don't want to necessarily just organize it just because it looks pretty. If it looks pretty at the end, that is a great cherry on top, but please don't try and have that be the main goal. Your goal is to actually solve a problem and to have your space function.
Live in this home with me, actually live, is Jordan and I and our 3 dogs. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but let's start with when you first walk into the pantry. Everything is labeled, everything has a place, and everything has a purpose. Everything that you see in my entire pantry, as far as containers, labels, down to the pens that we use to write, are all from the Container Store. This is not sponsored by the Container Store, although I wish you would reach out.
I wanted to stop right in the beginning and say that I think she's done a great job optimizing space by taking items out of their store-bought packaging. Now, a lot of things come in boxes, big bags, sometimes there's like bags full of bags, which is kind of weird, but things like granola bars that I saw there, if they're in their box when you bring them home from the store, that box is never like really actually full of granola bars, and you're taking up a lot more space in your pantry by leaving them in this packaging. And also, you can't really see how many you have left, so you might have like one granola bar in that big box and just be taking up so much space. So a great thing to do is take items out of their packaging and put them into a bin or a box. A clear bin is great, so you can see exactly how many are left, or an opaque bin with a label is also great too. I love what she's done by taking things out of their packaging. I always recommend that when you're trying to save space in your pantry. I don't think that she needs to do that because this is a big old pantry and a big old mansion, I think. But in a normal American pantry, taking things out of their packaging is a really great hack to save space.
Grab it and run out the door. If I'm jumping in the car with my nieces and nephews, they grab something and they're on their way. Up here we have nuts, seeds, and dried fruit. This is what we use for salad. Then if you move down, this is my current favorite section because this is new and it makes me extremely horny. Sorry, little TMI, sorry mom. This right here is just like so earthy and it's so my vibe. So we have all of just like our nuts. We have dried fruit, chocolate covered cherries. My mom's favorite back here, we got her chocolate covered almonds that she loves so much. Like I said, I like to keep things in my pantry specifically for people in my life.
I want to say 2 things here. I love this little space with the step shelves. She's got those clear step shelves, which are fantastic. A great thing to do if you don't have those step shelves and you want to sort of get the same effect as the step shelves is to get larger containers, taller containers, put those in the back, and then put the shorter containers in the front. It'll give you the same effect, and you won't have to, purchase the step shelves, and you can put like, if you like something more, you can put it in a bigger container. The other thing I like that she's done here is she's put her most grabbed items, which is her snacks and stuff like that, stuff that she just likes to grab, on an everyday basis, right at waist level, right where she can grab it. So that is really valuable real estate, that little area right at waist level where you can grab stuff, and maybe here at head level too. That's really valuable real estate. So the stuff you use or eat most often, that's the place you want to give that stuff. The stuff you don't use hardly ever, like I hardly ever bake, so I put that stuff way up high, and some appliances you hardly ever use, you can put that down the bottom.
And down here I have my dog treats. As you guys know, I love my dogs very much. So I treat them as an equal, and I give them...
Those dogs are #blessed.
Little canisters that say dog treats. And then we just, change them in and out depending what dog treats they're loving at the moment. Okay, so then over on the other side, it's kind of awkward because this is a glass door. So I'm going to have you come in here and come around.
I'm surprised she didn't have the door open in, out of the space instead of opening into the space. That's something that I tell a lot of people who have closet issues when they're designing their closets. I say, either get a barn door or have the door open out and not into the space, because you're using up valuable real estate by using up one of those walls, and you have to open the door and then go in and then close the door and then get the thing. So if you're designing a closet, try not to have the door open into the space unless you've got a lot of space and you can afford to, use up 2 or 3 feet of space.
So in here, this is the tea section right here. We have all of the tea. This actually was quite a little bitch for a minute figuring out how to store the tea and all the cinnamon sticks, because I love cinnamon in almost every single tea. I put cinnamon in my peppermint tea, in my lemon balm tea, in my sleepy time tea. And then Jordan makes the most amazing hot toddies you've ever had in your entire life for my family, and cinnamon sticks. So we have all...
One great thing I think that she's done here that it's really terrific that I always tell people is to create zones. So she's got a tea zone, and in the tea zone, she just doesn't have just tea. She's got tea and all the things she uses when she has tea. So she's got tea and honey and the cinnamon and all the spices she used to put in the tea. So that's a little zone in itself. And I always tell people to do that because I always tell people to put things where you use them, right? That makes sense. So I have in my little coffee section everything I need when I make coffee, and it makes it so much easier and faster in the morning.
The honey, all that jazz right there. And this comes from the Container Store, just like everything.
Big fan of the undershelf shelf. Big fan. Love it. I stan the undershelf shelf. So good. Love it. I'm trying to reduce how much I use single-use plastics. So a really good option, the reusable silicone bags, stasher bags, are really, really great. So they are just like a Ziploc bag, but they're made of silicone and they're reusable, and you can wash them in the dishwasher or wash them by hand or whatever. They make all kinds of sizes. They are quite an investment, but they definitely will reduce your use of single-use plastics. They come in different sizes, different colors. They're really great. I will link them down below so that you can check them out yourself. That being said, I don't want to judge anyone's choices about what they use, things like that. I just want to give you an alternative to single-use plastics just while I was thinking of it. I try to make little small changes that I can. I'm definitely not anywhere near perfect, but I do try to do what I can.
Oh wait, the Container Store. When I was broke as one of my favorite things to do, and also the thing that I did to relieve anxiety and stress, is go to the Container Store. I know it sounds so silly, but I would never buy anything because I couldn't afford it. But when I had days off, at this point I was living in Lake Zurich, Illinois, and the closest Container Store was like 25 miles away. I can't remember where it was. I would drive there on my days off and literally just walk around the Container Store with a basket in my hand to look like I was shopping, but I wasn't actually shopping. I'll just spend like an hour there because it's so organized and so perfect and everything is so orderly that it made me feel so calm and just like at peace inside. And then I would leave like, and then I'd go back and resume my life. I know that's so silly.
I wanted to comment and say that that is definitely not stupid. It totally makes sense. Working at the Container Store for 7 years, I know just how satisfying it is to walk into such an organized space. When I started working there, I worked in merchandise processing, which is basically the truck would come in the morning and we would get there at 5 in the morning and unpack boxes and put the stuff on the shelf. It was really satisfying for an organized person because there's a whole protocol and method to putting things on the shelves and how they can be spaced out and how they look, and it was just a really fascinating job. And I understand that it's very relaxing to walk in there because everything is so organized, and that's how you feel if you go into your home and it's really organized. If you walk into your space and there's clutter everywhere, there's mess, there's you don't know what's going on, you can't find things, it creates real stress, real cortisol, real stress hormone. And a lot of people don't realize that this is a real thing, especially now that we're home most of the day and we're home for many, many days in a row. We're stuck at home during the global pandemic. A lot of us are suddenly seeing the dysfunction and clutter in our homes, and that's why there's been a big movement to get together the home. And it's been a really great experience for a lot of people. And I've been helping people online, virtually get organized, and helping people over the phone get organized. So there's a lot of movement right now because we're all at home to get organized, and I think that's really great.
I love the Container Store. So let's get into like the meat and potatoes of the actual pantry. Right here is the snack section. So we have these 6 containers right here filled with absolute glory. It has been a long time to figure out what snacks to put in here. So all different snacks in each one. We have combos. We have Cheez-Its. Only cheddar jack and then the white cheddar, because the original Cheez-Its are so lame, like they're booty. No one does that.
Wait a minute.
Okay, right here we have the healthy snacks. As you can see, labeled healthy snacks. Sometimes some things get thrown in here that are not so healthy. Pretzel crisps, I would not consider this healthy whatsoever, but I still have it in there.
Even though they're not healthy, I do want to say that she's done a good job arranging them in this bin, because things that don't stack well, i.e. bags of snacks and things like that, even in the bags that stand up, they don't look very good, and they don't manage themselves very well in a pantry, I've discovered, when they're on their own. But in a bin, they work perfectly well. So bins are for things that don't stack well. I would not put like boxes in a bin that already, are modular and will probably stack well, or your dry good containers in a bin. It might look nice, but it's not really going to be that functional for you.
Up here, we have baking. I have not baked in a long time, which sucks. I really loved baking there.
She's the exact same as me. The baking stuff out of the way because I never use it. Now that we're home all the time, I'm like bored and baking. But usually, like regular life comes around, I'm going to work. I'm no way. No way.
For a quick minute because I find it really relaxing because it's very mathematical, and although I hate math, I just love the whole moment of baking. This right here, these are my chips. So I'm gonna be totally honest with you, these are not all of them, but I made it look really cute for the video because no one wants to see a complete and total.
Jacyln has a lot of snacks. I mean, she's got a lot more snacks than I have. Again, the chips in the bin, a very good choice because they don't stack well and they just don't do well when they're on their own, but she does have a lot of snacks. No hate. I love a potato chip. If you could offer me chocolate candy all day long and I said no, but if you hand me a bag of potato chips and say, don't eat these, I'm going to have a hard time.
I actually have backstock up high. I'll show you that. I have backstock chicks. Chicks? I do not have backstock chick. I have like little chickens up there, like laying eggs. The sweet, spicy chili Doritos. These are the best Doritos to ever exist. If I did not have a sensitive stomach, I could eat this entire thing on its own or just dip it into refried beans. Oh my God, it's so good, you guys. It's so good.
Listen, with the exception of the Doritos, I could be eating a Jacyln's.
That's really all it is, just some more snacks. I rarely get into this section because I really do not have much of a sweet tooth. I am more of a salty person, so I'm gonna go for crackers. I'm gonna go for the nuts.
Are those Teddy Grahams? I think they are. I like those.
So then down here, this is just a random shelf of a million different things, but this pretty much stays the exact same, which is why it's labeled like Annie snacks, fruit roll-ups, chips, popcorn, Ritz, and then back here, you probably can't see it, but we've got Gushers. So these always stay the same, which is why they are labeled this way. Mini bags of chips.
Okay, I gotta say it again. Jacyln has like it looks so far like it's mostly snacks. No hate. I mean, I want to be in this pantry and eat and hang out, but a lot of people don't have this many snacks in their pantry, or do they? Let me know down below if your pantry is this full of snacks. Let me know.
Crackers, just crackers. The entire bin is full at all times of crackers.
See, this is the only thing that I really don't love is boxes in a bin. I mean, maybe it works. What I would have done, though, is to take them out of their packaging and put them in containers. She has a lot of containers, so I don't think this would be a big deal for her. And then she can put her little labels on them and then, you know, grab the crackers that way. And they would stay fresher longer because after you open the bag, and you can't really seal it again very well. So having some more airtight containers, if she's gonna have that many crackers, is probably what I would have done. But they do look cute in the bin, but it's just not what I would have done.
French rounds. I know it sounds silly that I have a bin of French rounds, but we go through these like crazy as well. You can put anything on them. You can put cream cheese on them. You can put jams on them. You can put meats on them. I personally have to put bruschetta on them and then cook.
It's bruschetta, but that's the only thing, that's my only like pet peeve that drives me crazy about it's a lost cause. Everyone's going to say bruschetta, right? As a singer, I took many Italian diction classes in graduate school and in undergraduate school, and it is bruschetta, not bruschetta. I'm sorry, Jacyln.
But right here, this is my favorite section because this is like the Mexican food section. And if I could eat anything for the rest of my entire life, it would be Mexican food. I mean, to the day I die.
Wow.
Like, I love it so much. I have my entire life, and I feel like I've never had a Mexican dish that I don't absolutely die for. So
neither have I.
Hot sauces are right here. This is
Jordan's she's got a lot of the hot sauces. Love it.
And he's extremely picky about it. Now we are on to this shelf right here. We have the things that I don't use. I'm just being honest. I do not cook. I'm not gifted at it, but Jordan is so good at cooking. So this is his section. White wine vinegars, red wine vinegars, apple cider vinegars, just vinegars in general.
I'm 100% a fan of putting your sauces and your oils on turntables. I do this all the time. I tell clients to do this, it solves the problem of things either being on the bottom or in the back. In this case, more of a problem of being in the back. So the turntable is great because you can spin it around and grab that soy sauce that happens to be in the back at that point. And then if you can turn it around and grab whatever was on the other side. So turntables work amazing. I've seen them used in fridges. I'm not a huge fan of that particularly because usually things that need to go on there don't need to go in the middle of the fridge, and I have a video on how to organize your fridge by using food science down. I will link it down in the description below, but I have seen it be used there and it looks very good.
And then pasta kind of like all works together, and then we have pastas here. Again, you see these containers everywhere, you guys. Always the Container Store. Up, we've got grains. This rice right here is so amazing. We eat this all the time with salmon.
So I'm curious to know why the rice is not in, why she chose for the rice not to be in the individual containers, the pop containers. As you saw, those are the ones that she had featured, and I use those as well. But why not empty those into their own containers as well? They would look really cute, and it always, I mean, they are in clear containers and they're in a bin because they don't stack well, and that's a really good thing. But I will usually buy rice if I can in bulk instead of buying individual packages, and just will fill the container when I get home. That rice is good though. That's the fancy rice.
And then right here, the best mac and cheese of all time. If you have not gotten Annie's mac and cheese for yourself or for your children, trust me, do it now. Even the ones that you heat up. I talked about this in my Instagram stories.
I know that it's gonna like trigger a lot of people that the label is still on, like the home edit slash inner design label is still on the bin. I mean, I've left a label on there or two, but I would really love if she would take it off. It would make me so satisfied. Make a commitment to your bin.
Throw it in the microwave for 3 minutes with the powder in it, and then add actual shredded cheese on top, a little salt, a little pepper. Oh, there's a sticker on there. How embarrassing. I asked my people to take this off.
That is hilarious, and thank you for taking the sticker off.
And then last but not least is the candy section of the pantry.
That's literally so much candy. If I saw that, if I had that in my house, I would be in the dentist chair all the time getting tons of fillings. But I did sell these containers when I was working at the Container Store. They're made of glass. They are beautiful. They are airtight, I believe. And I am very jealous. They look absolutely gorgeous. Good job. Okay, you guys, well, that was me reacting to Jacylyn's pantry tour. I really enjoyed it. I actually do really like Jacylyn Hill. I think that she's, you know, made some mistakes in the past, but I do genuinely think that she's very charming and I like her. Her pantry is enormous and full of snacks, but it is well organized. I do hope that when you guys are going to organize your own spaces that you don't aspire for it to look exactly this perfect, and I'm curious to see what it looks like, you know, on a random Wednesday at 4 p.m. Whether or not the containers of cereal are spaced, you know, 3 inches apart or not. It is a place where you can get to. It is a place where many aspire to get to, but with most people, good enough and solving a problem is really where you want to get to. And if after living with that space for a while and you want to like step up your game to have it look really, really neat like that, it's totally worth doing if you want to go there. But know that most pantries in America and most pantries that I have seen, that I have organized, do not look like that at the end of the day. My pantry does not look like that at the end of the day. If you want to see what it looks like, I have linked my pantry tour down below. You can see how I organized it. We just moved into our house about 3 months ago, and I was very excited to get a big old pantry, and I was very happy to fill it up with stuff. However, it's a challenge because it's super deep, and I just can't fill up all that space. So I hope you guys enjoy this reaction video, and you will subscribe if you're new, and I hope that you're having a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Fresh coffee and bagels too. A new day is waiting for us. We got lots of fun stuff to do. Let's go to the zoo and feed the monkeys. I can lend them your baseball cap. Let's make the day a barrel of fun. Growing up is just a trap. Don't it seem like a drag? Growing up is just a big fat trap. I take